Good day, everyone. Today we'll be discussing our second module for English for academic and professional purposes that is titled Using Knowledge of Text Structure to Glean Information. Let us skip the preliminary pages and let's proceed to the lesson per se. Okay, so in this module, you will be taught how to use knowledge of text structures to glean information you need. Different activities are also provided here that will help you gain knowledge and understanding of the topic. For this module, our objectives are the following. First, to identify the structure of academic text. Second, differentiate structures of academic text. And finally, create an academic text that can be applied to a text structure. Before we proceed with discussing further this module, please answer our pretest, which is this, what I know. It's a 15-item pretest with multiple choice. You may pause the video to answer this pretest. Once you are done, you may check your answer using the answer key at the back of the paper and kindly write your score on top of the paper where you answered it. Now let's proceed to what's in. In what's in, let's review our previous lesson by answering this activity. In this activity, you are asked to identify the following terms based on your previous lesson. Choose your answer from the box below. Write the letter of your answer on the space before each item. Again, on a separate sheet of paper, kindly write 1 to 5 and write only the letter of your answer. You may pause the video for more time in answering this test. Okay, once you're done, you may also again check your work using our answer key. Again, we encourage honesty in checking your activities. Okay, this time, let's talk about what's new by doing this activity titled Do We Match? In here, you're asked to match the definition in column A with the terms in column B by only writing the letter of your answer on the space provided for each number. So on the paper you're answering a while ago, kindly write there 1 to 5 and then match the definition in column A from the terms in column B. Again, write only the letter of your answer. You may pause the video in answering this test for more time. Once you are done, guys, you may check again your work using our answer key at the back. Now, let's talk about what is it. What is our lesson for this day? In this lesson, guys, we'll be talking about using knowledge of text structure to glean information. To those who are not aware, the meaning of the word glean is identify or simply understand. Sorry for my writing. Again, it only means identify or understand. So, basically, what we mean by this lesson is that we are going to use our idea, our knowledge, our concept of text structure in order for us to understand better what is being delivered in a text. But before that, let's first discuss what text structure is all about. So, according to our module, every student should understand that a text should present in its details and main ideas. Text structure helps them to organize a written text, giving its cause and effect, or its different views. Text structure refers to organization of information in a passage. There are different and common types of text structure. One of these is the spatial or description, which gives a reader a detailed feature that creates a picture on his or her mind about a topic. Basically, guys, if you could remember in our previous module, guys, we talked about different ways on how you can write your paragraph. There we had narration, expository, description, persuasion. So this type of text structure, which is the spatial or description, is simply about description. So you are painting an image in the mind or in the imagination of your reader. So again, spatial or description gives a reader a detailed feature that creates a picture on the mind of the reader. Also, spatial organization is when information in the passage is organized in order of space or location. Spatial organization can also be called as descriptive writing. As I have said a while ago, if you look back to our lesson in our first module, there we discussed description. So it's basically descriptive writing. If you are about to describe how something looks, you are describing it spatially. It can also be used in fiction and non-fiction. Even if narration style or writing is usually arranged chronologically, if the author is describing a setting of a certain scene, the author is describing it spatially. Many people are actually, guys, confused about narration and description, but the very difference is that when you're making a narration, what you do is you tell a story. Okay? But when you describe, you doesn't necessarily have to tell a story. But when you narrate, when you tell a story, you usually describe. Okay? So they are two related things, but they are different. Again, when you do narration, you tell a story, but when you describe, you don't have to tell a story, you just have to describe something or define its features. Okay? Example of this is this paragraph. Okay, let's read it together. Volcanoes can be a source of fear and destruction. Even though volcanoes are like pressure valve in the inner earth, they are very beautiful sights. One of the parts of the volcanoes that cannot be seen all the time is its magma chamber. It is beneath the earth's bedrock and is very hot. Conduit is the one that runs from the magma chamber to the crater, which can be seen at the top of the volcano. The crater is where the magma exits. Volcanoes are very scenic yet very dangerous. So you see here in the sample paragraph, what the writer is trying to do is the writer is trying to make us imagine what a volcano looks like. Okay, using these descriptions. So the writer is able to do spatial or description text structure. Then we have the next text structure, that is the cause and effect. Okay, so in the cause and effect, it presents the relationship between specific events, ideas, or concepts. As we all know, guys, when we say cause and effect, there is a reason and there is an effect or an outcome. So the cause is the reason and the effect is the outcome or the result. Okay, so cause and effect is one way of organizing information in a text. It explains reasons why something happened. It can be ordered as cause to effect or vice versa. Now, let's go to the example here of a cause and effect paragraph. In this example, it says here, many people think that they can acquire illness by going into the cold weather improperly dressed. However, illnesses are not caused by temperature. They are caused by germs. So, trembling outside in the cold probably won't strengthen your immune system, but you are more likely to acquire illness outdoors because you will greatly be exposed to germs. In this paragraph, guys, it is very clear that the writer uses cause and effect. Why? Because he or she discusses how we get illnesses. Many people think, or many people expect, that we get illnesses when we are exposed to low temperatures. That's why whenever it's raining or the weather is very gloomy, we believe that it's a very convenient season for us to catch a cold. But actually, according to the writer here, it's not the temperature that causes us illnesses. Rather, it's the germs outside. Okay? So it is clearly explained here in the paragraph the cause and effect of illnesses. Okay? I have here another example, and I want you to read it on your own and identify here what are the causes and the effects. Okay. In here, it says that there are signal words. These are the signal words that may indicate that information in a paragraph is organized as cause and effect. Okay? These are because, as a result, resulted, caused, affected, since, due to, and effect. So obviously, all these words are all your markers to identify that what the paragraph you're reading actually uses the text, structure, cause, and effect. Okay, now let's go to our third text structure, that is the comparison and contrast. Comparison and contrast gives the similarities and differences between two or more people, events, concepts, ideas, and the like. Simply put, guys, comparison and contrast simply means we are comparing and contrasting. Hinahalin tulad natin ang dalawang bagay sa isa't isa. Okay? Using their similarities, pagkakaparehas, and differences, pagkakaiba. Comparison and contrast is a text structure or pattern of organization that discusses similarities and differences. You should bear in mind, tandaan nyo daw, that this kind of structure should discuss both comparing similarities and contrasting or differences. If you will only discuss comparing and not contrasting, it cannot be called as comparing and contrasting, comparing alone and vice versa. Simply put, guys, when we do comparison and contrast as our text structure, it is important that you give both of these. Okay? You cannot just compare. You should also give the contrast. You should also contrast them. Again, when we do comparison and contrast, we simply give the similarities, pagkakahalintulad, and the differences or pagkakaiba ng dalawang bagay, tao, pangyayari, lugar, o kahit ano pa yan na pinaghahambing natin sa isa't isa. It is also said here that this pattern is generally easy to recognize. Writer who is comparing and contrasting will bounce back and forth between two subjects. Here are some signal words that may indicate that the text is written using the compare and contrast organizational pattern. So these words are like, unlike, both, neither, similar, and different. I believe, guys, it's very easy for you to identify whether the text structure used by a writer is following a comparison and contrast format. Because it's easy to identify. Once a writer is giving similarities and differences, of course, it's comparison and contrast right away. Especially with the presence of these signal words like, unlike, both, neither, similar, and different. It's easy to understand. Let's look at the example here. Mangoes and durians are both fruits. They both have seeds inside of them. Each has a skin, but durian skins are thick and difficult to peel. Mango skins are thinner and peel easily. Durians have distinct stench or amoy, while mangoes have sweet smell. But both fruits are delicious. So in this paragraph, again, it's very obvious that the writer is using comparison and contrast because obviously the writer is comparing and contrasting mangoes with durians. So the writer said they both have seeds, so it's a similarity. It has a similarity. Each has a skin, so it's again a similarity. Then the writer says, but durian skins are thick and difficult to peel, so it's a difference. Pinagkaiba yon, na makapal daw yung balat ng durian at mahirap balatan. And then the writer also says mango skins are thinner and peel easily. So manipis daw ang balat ng mangga at mas madaling talupan. And then finally, the writer says durians have distinct stench. May kakaiba daw na amoy or alingasaw ang durian, while mangoes have sweet smell. Manamis-namis daw amoyin ang hinog na mangga. So, it's a difference of the two fruits being compared. And then, the writer ended with the statement, but both fruits are delicious. So, it's a similarity that although they are different, both fruits are delicious. Easy, right? Now let's go to our fourth common text structure. So aside from cause and effect, comparison and contrast, description, another way of making a text is by following the chronological order. Chronological order explains a text by the time an event occurs. So basically, guys, hearing the term explains a text by the time events occur, obviously what we mean here is it's about narration. So you see the connection with our first module. In our first module, we talked about description, we talked about expository, about narration, about persuasion. So it's also similar to this. So you see here, chronological order refers to a text written by the time an event occurs. So simply when you're narrating, so chrono means time and logic means order. That's why chronological means time, order by time. The events occur along a timeline even if the author uses flashbacks or flash forwards. You know this, guys, when you watch teleseries or movies or when you're reading stories, you would notice that the writer sometimes uses techniques like flashbacks when characters recall events in the past, or flash forwards wherein the future is first shown before the present or the past. So even though the writer uses those kinds of techniques, it's still a chronological order. It is still a narration. Okay? All stories are organized chronologically. Of course, when you make a story, when you write a story, all of them are written according to time. That's why we have a plot. Okay? Therefore, every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Non-fiction stories, organized chronologically, usually contain dates, while fiction passages or narratives usually have no dates. Okay? You would notice that there is always the presence of time. Okay? For example, in 1976, Mr. Washington graduated at the University of Choo-Choo, and so on. Okay? So it's chronological. Okay. Certain passages in a story may focus on describing scenery or spaces and use a descriptive or spatial method of organization. This is what I'm telling you a while ago, that although a text is following a chronological or narration text structure, it can still have in it a descriptive or spatial pattern. Because of course, when you tell a story, it's difficult to tell a story without describing the events, without describing the characters, describing the scenes. So in here, guys, it is said here that in making or in following the chronological order of text structure, there will be times that of course you will use the descriptive or the spatial method. Okay? Let's look at the example here. This morning was pretty crazy. I woke up really late because of wrong setting of my alarm. It was set PM instead of AM. I just wore any clothes and ran out the door. I rode my bike as fast as I could, with the thought that I was going to be late for sure. But when I got there, everyone was outside, and there were fire trucks all lined up in front of the school. I guess somebody pulled the fire alarm before class started. It worked out though, because nobody really noticed or minded that I was tardy. So in here, you see that the story is, or the narration here is made following the chronological order. Simply, guys, there is time. The events are said or told following a timeline. Okay? And then finally, we have this text structure, the problem solution. In the problem solution text structure, we mention a problem or problems and then identify some possible solutions and discusses the effect of the solutions. So basically, by the name of the structure, guys, problem solution is simply when you are stating problems and then providing solutions to those problems. So problem solution is a pattern of organization that explains a problem or issue and an attempted solution in that issue. This type of text is usually interchanged with cause and effect type of structure, but the only thing that they should remember is that cause and effect text structure do not offer a solution. This mentions a problem and then offers a solution plus the possible effect of a solution. Basically, guys, this first paragraph means that many people are confused with problem solution and cause and effect because they are related as well. If narration and description are related, then problem solution and cause and effect are also related. Cause and effect talks about causes, mga dahilan, reasons, and then the effects, resulta, outcome. Okay? But they don't offer solutions. They just show you the reasons why things happen and what are the effects of those things that are happening. Okay? But in the problem solution, guys, you give problems. You talk about problems and then you offer possible solutions to that. Okay? You may also use cause and effect when you're making a problem solution paragraph because of course, you're talking about a problem. And then you would probably talk about what caused that problem. Ano bang dahilan bakit nagkaroon ng ganung problema? Diba? So kapag kayo gumagawa ng problem solution paragraph, malamang at malamang sa hindi, you would also use cause and effect because you would talk about what caused that problem and what could be the effect of that problem. So if the effect of that problem is negative, is something na ayaw nating mangyari, kailangan natin ng solusyon. So, nagiging problem solution na yung paragraph mo. Hindi lang siya basta-basta cause and effect. Inuulit ko. Kapag cause and effect, sinasabi mo lang kung ano yung dahilan, tapos kung ano yung magiging epekto. Wala kang binibigay na solusyon. But when you're already giving a solution, when you're already suggesting a solution, then your paragraph is now following the text structure problem solution. Example, bullying has been prevalent these days. Prevalent means talamak, common, rampant. So bullying has been common or prevalent these days. These encounters make it hard for children to develop confidence and high self-esteem. Of course, when we are being bullied, we really cannot develop confidence within us. Fortunately, bullying has been noticed and is being addressed by many sectors of the community. Okay? So, yung bullying daw, buti naman daw kahit paano, napapansin na siya ng bayan at ina-address na siya ng iba't ibang sektor ng lipunan. However, these efforts are not enough. Hindi daw yun sapat. Nagbinibigyan na siya ng solusyon ng iba't ibang sektor natin. The most effective way to stop bullying is by nurturing and inculcating good manners. Kailangan daw, ang magiging solusyon lang daw para matigil na ang bullying ay kailangan turuan natin ng good manners and right conduct ang mga estudyante within their families. So here guys, you see here that the writer showed a problem that is bullying and then offered a solution. Ano daw ang solution sa bullying? Yes, it's the last sentence. The most effective way daw to stop bullying is by nurturing. Okay, pagyamanin daw, inculcating, itanim daw yung good manners and right conduct sa mga estudyante sa pamilya pa lang. Okay? So, are we clear here? Again, we have discussed 5 text structure that will make us that will help us easier understand or glean information from what we are reading. These are, the first one is what is that one? The first one, it's description. The other one is cause and effect. Then we had comparison, comparison and contrast. Then we had chronological order. And then finally, we have the problem solution text structure. So these guys are the different ways on how you can glean or understand information from the text by identifying their text structure. Ano bang sinusunod na pattern ng writer sa paggawa ng kanyang paragraph, ng kanyang essay, ng kanyang text? Siya ba'y gumagamit ng description? So, syempre, kung alam mong gumagamit siya ng description, mas madali sa iyong identify kung anong information ang binibigay niya sa text. Siya ba'y gumagamit ng cause and effect? Again, cause and effect is about giving reasons and what could be the outcomes of those reasons. And then, comparison and contrast, similarities and differences, pinagkatulad at pinagkaiba. Chronological order is also like narration, nakikwento. Binibigay yung mga bagay o mga pangyayari following a timeline using events. Okay? And then lastly, problem solution, wherein we show a problem, we discuss a problem, and then we also discuss what are the possible solutions to that problem. Okay? I hope these guys are clear to you. Let's go back to our module. Okay, so I am expecting you to answer these activities in what's more. Independent activity 1, independent assessment 1, independent activity 2, independent assessment 2, chronological, in red, sorry, it's independent activity 3 and independent assessment 3. So let's discuss them one by one. So if ever there are confusions with how you guys will answer this, it would be easier for you. Let's begin with independent activity 1. So here, the directions are: read the following statements, write T if the statement is true, and F if it is false. Write your answer on the space before each number. So on your paper, guys, write there what's more, independent activity 1, and then list 1 to 10. You will only write T if the statement is true, and then F if the statement is false. So just read them one by one and then identify whether it is true or false. Okay? I believe that's very easy to understand. Let's go to independent assessment 1. Here, the instructions are: identify what is being described in the following statements. Write your answer on the space before each item. So on your paper, guys, write there independent assessment 1 and then write 1 to 10. And then identify what is being defined here. Please observe correct spelling. If you are not sure with the spelling, you may go back to the module, to our lesson discussion, so you would have the correct spelling of the terms being defined. Okay, for independent activity 2, fill in the blanks. So the directions are: fill in the blanks inside the matrix with correct information. Remember the terms discussed in this module in order to answer this activity. So we have discussed 5 text structures, guys, right? So all you have to do is to fill out this matrix. So this matrix or table contains information about the text structures we discussed, these 5 text structures. So all you have to do is to put them here, the text structure, and then complete this, the definition, and then you're done. So on your paper, kindly write there 1 to 5 and then write your answers per line. Okay? Again, on your paper, write 1 to 5 and then write in there the information needed per item. For example, for item 1, you will write here your answer 1 and then the 2 words being asked to be filled here in the definition. And then for item 2, you're going to write in item 2 the words being asked to be filled in the definition here. Okay? And then so on. Okay? I believe that's very easy to understand. Let's go to independent assessment 2. Here, the directions are: read and analyze the paragraph, in each number rather. Fill out the given graphic organizers with the correct information based on the given paragraph. Obviously, guys, in here, the different text structures are given. And then, aside from the title of the text structures, sample paragraphs are also given. All you have to do is to fill out these graphic organizers by understanding the paragraph. So, for example, in the first item, it says here it is using comparison and contrast. So all you have to do is to read this paragraph. Yeah, that paragraph. And then after you read that paragraph, you identify how the writer, or what are the two things that the writer compared and contrasted. Okay, so you will put here the topic. So what are the two things being compared, and then what are their similarities here, and then what are their differences here. Easy, right? Very good. Now let's go to this one. The second one is chronological order. As I have said a while ago, chronological order is about narration. So when you're telling a story, you are following the chronological order. So just read the paragraph here about the life of Caden, and then you just have to fill out these boxes, 1 as the first event, and then 4 as the last event. So you just have to put in that timeline how the life of Caden went on. Okay? So paano ba nabuhay si Caden? So simulan nyo dito sa 1 hanggang dun sa may 4. Okay? So parang gagawa lang kayo ng timeline ng buhay ni Caden. In the third one, it says here it uses cause and effect. So just read the paragraph, identify what is the cause here, and put it here, and then what are the two effects mentioned in the paragraph. Easy, right? Do not be confused, when we say cause, it means dahilan. Ano yung dahilan? Kung bakit nangyari ang isang bagay. And then the effects are the outcome of a cause. Okay? And then the fourth here, it says problem solution. So just read the paragraph. This paragraph is about the problem increasing nitrogen monoxide. So what could be the possible solutions to this problem, the increasing nitrogen monoxide in the environment? So just write those solutions here. Easy, right? Okay. Now let's go to independent activity 3. Independent activity 3 asks you to answer the questions after each passage. Write your answer on the space provided for. So, on your paper, all you have to do is write independent activity 3, and then 1, and then write there A, B, C there. Okay? So, the ABC there will stand for the question. So, for first question, what is the text structure used in the passage? So, you just have to read this passage about the sinigang na hipon carefully. And then after reading that carefully, identify kung anong text structure ang ginamit dyan. Gumamit ba ng description? Gumamit ba ng cause and effect? Gumamit ba ng comparison and contrast? Gumamit ba ng chronological order? Or gumamit ba ng problem solution? So, yun lang yun. Okay? B, what is the main idea of the passage? Main idea simply means the topic. Ano bang topic? Ano daw ba ang topic? Yan. Again, for this, it asks about what is the topic. Tungkol ba saan to? Tungkol ba saan itong paragraph na to? And then finally, for C, is there any signal words that you have observed that lead you to your answer in letter A? So kung ang sagot mo daw dito ay comparison and contrast, paano mo nasabing comparison and contrast? Ano yung mga words na naging signal words mo para masabi na comparison and contrast? Yan. Kung problem solution naman ang sinagot mo sa A, ano naman yung mga words na nakita mo para masabing problem solution yung ginamit doon? Okay? Gets? Okay. Second paragraph, the same. It has the same questions. Anong ginamit na text structure? Anong main idea or topic? And then C, anong mga signal words ang ginamit? And then for independent assessment 3, Among the types of text structure that you have learned, choose one. Pili daw kayo sa may 5 na to. Sa 5 diniscuss natin na text structure na to, sa description, cause and effect, comparison and contrast, chronological order, and problem solution. Pili ka daw ng isa doon. And then write an academic text about modular learning that you are experiencing today. Okay? So, pili daw kayo ng isa sa 5 to. Cause and effect, description, comparison, contrast, chronological order, problem solution. Tapos, gawa ka daw ng isang paragraph about modular learning. Diba ngayon ang ginagamit natin, modular learning. Yung iba, online modular learning. Yung iba, modular printed learning. Yung iba naman, modular digital learning. So, gawa ka lang daw ng isang paragraph about your experience, about your karanasan tungkol sa modular learning na to. Tapos, gumamit ka lang daw ng isa sa mga technique na to. Halimbawa, description. Describe mo lang, how is your experience using modular learning? Cause and effect. Anong cause kung bakit ka nagwa-modular learning ngayon? Tapos, anong effect ng modular learning mo? Ganon. Third, comparison and contrast. So, siguro pwede mong i-compare and i-contrast itong modular learning mo sa old normal, nung dating face-to-face pa. Okay? And then, pwede ka naman gumamit ka ng chronological order. Ikwento mo kung paano ka nagwa-modular learning. Paano mo kinukuha yung modules mo, paano mo sinasagutan, paano mo pinapasa. Madali lang, di ba? And then, 5, problem solution. Anong problem mo sa modular learning? Tapos, anong tingin mong mga solusyon para masagot yung mga problema mo na yun sa modular learning? Easy, right? Very good. And then, here's our rubrics, how your paragraph will be graded. Okay, in this one, in what I have learned, all you have to do is answer the following question based on the lesson on text structure. Write your answer on the space provided. What is the simplest definition of text structures? Based on your understanding of our lesson, how will you define text structure? Maiksi lang, simplest definition nga lang daw eh. And then, in here, it's just an identification. Just identify what is being defined in those letters. Okay? And then here, what is the meaning of each type of text structure? So, pag chronological order, ano ibig sabihin nun? Pag problem solution, ano ibig sabihin nun? Madali lang, di ba? Madali lang tindihin. And then, what I can do for application, write a 5-sentence academic text about COVID-19. You may use any text structure to discuss your thoughts about the topic. Read and follow the given rubrics below before you write. So, using these rubrics daw, gawa daw kayo ng isang paragraph na mayroong 5 sentences. Tapos, pili lang daw kayo ng isa sa mga text structure na to. Description, cause and effect, comparison and contrast, chronological order, or problem solution. Pili ka lang daw ng isa sa mga yan. Tapos, you write a 5-sentence paragraph. Yung ulit 5-sentence paragraph about COVID-19. Okay? Parang kagaya lang kanina. Parang kagaya lang ito. Ito. Okay? Shh. Shh. Okay, and for assessment, guys, all you have to do is to answer these 15 items, multiple choice, on your paper. Kindly write their assessment 1 to 15, and then write only the letter of your answer. And then for our additional activity, search 2 sample paragraphs for the text structure of your choice. Identify the main idea and underline the signal words that you have found in each paragraph. Write your answers on the space provided for. Kindly follow the given rubrics below before doing your activity. So in here, guys, what you will do is just search for sample paragraphs on the internet. Example, you might type okay, let's see if I could help you. Example, you would type on your Google sample paragraph, or say sample description paragraph. And you would see there a lot of sample description paragraph already. Okay? just select one paragraph. There. Let's have a sample. I think this is a very long paragraph. Yeah, you just have to copy the paragraph. Okay, just have to copy the paragraph and then write it on your paper. And then once you have written it on your paper, okay, once you have written it on your paper, all you have to do is to identify its main topic. Put it here in this part. Okay. Let's just fix this first. Okay, then all you have to do is to put here the main idea or the topic, and then identify the signal words. So you just have to underline the signal words. Example, here has a something something, it has a striking something. So those are sample words of description. Okay, so that's how you're going to do this activity. Again, you just have to choose two techniques or text structure. Look for an example paragraph for each in the internet. Hanap lang kayo ng sample paragraph nang napili nyo ditong dalawa. Tapos, i-copy nyo dito or isulat nyo sa papel nyo. Tapos, ilagay nyo lang doon paragraph 1. Anong topic ng paragraph 1 na yon. Tapos, guhitan nyo lang yung mga words doon sa paragraph na yon na naging clue ninyo para masabi na yung paragraph na yun ay gumamit ng description or yung paragraph na yun ay gumamit ng problem solution or whatsoever. Madali lang, di ba? Again, we have the answer key here, so check your own work. Please be honest. Again, all of these activities should be answered. But again, although all of them will be recorded, not all of them will be graded. Okay? Aside from this video, guys, I will also be uploading another video on YouTube, which is also explaining text structure. So if you have free time, you may also watch that video for more information about text structure. Okay? I believe that other video will be very beneficial to you. Sobrang mapapakinabangan. I believe that other video will be very beneficial to you because that video talks about how you can write essays better. So I will be teaching you there how to write essays better. What are the techniques you can use in writing an introduction? What are the techniques you can use in writing the body? And then what are the techniques you can use to write the introduction? So again, thank you guys for listening to this and for watching this video. If you have questions, you may contact me during our class schedule. Again, during only our class schedule. So I advise you to answer your papers, your modules during our time. Okay? Thank you very much for attending this pre-recorded discussion. Goodbye.